Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. I'm your host, Jason. Your other host is Tim
Hi.
and Bill.
Oh, I'm the afterthought,
I
but
almost
it's
forgot
okay.
your name. Um, this is O.D.D. in Drublic.
Drublic.
This is where we go to live shows and we just kind of bullshit about them afterwards. This episode is Tim's show. He got to see Metallica. Not once, but
Yay.
twice.
That's right.
And that is why he will not be on the upcoming Paramore episodes, but you should still watch it if you like Weekend at Bernie's too.
And who
Or if you,
doesn't?
or if you just like pure comedic gold, because that's half of it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good episode. So, Tim, tell us about Metallica.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah, this is the big M72 World Tour, Seattle stops. The tour has been a 2-year endeavor so far, where they're playing 2 nights in each city and no repeats in the set list. So, you get two completely fresh shows. And they were playing about 15, 16 songs on each show. So that you get 30 songs set. That's pretty awesome. It's so yeah, the stage. I took some pictures. I was up in the big seats, so
We'll,
most of my pictures aren't action.
we'll post them on the
But
screen.
yeah. I don't have a whole lot of action shots, and I didn't take a whole bunch because everything is already online. You can watch these shows professional grade at your leisure, and I would recommend you do because they were awesome. I had a great time. Um, so yeah, just even getting it down there for Friday was night one, and it was just a party in the streets before they opened the doors. They had merch table like semi truck trailers set up all around the stadium, and lines were ridiculous. But yeah, you could tell everyone was just excited. This is one of the biggest bands on the planet. Everywhere they go it's an event. The circus definitely came to town. They had a pop-up store they had open for 4 or 5 days. All kinds of exclusive stuff. We're looking at the exclusive show posters. Those were also the exclusive event T-shirts. There was also an exclusive poster for the pop-up store and an exclusive like Seahawk themed 72 seasons vinyl, also only available at the pop-up store.
I love
The
those
merch,
posters. Those posters are badass.
yeah, I was able to get the posters and the t-shirts. I'm pretty excited about that. I can't wait to get them framed. They're gonna look great. And I think they only did 900 of each. So in like each show, I think there was close to 70,000 each night. So pretty lucky I got the posters. And yeah, it was super fun. So in addition to the different set lists each night also had different opening acts, which I thought was cool. So starting with Friday, the first act would have been Mammoth, which is Wolfgang Van Halen's band. Um, and they played for about 30 minutes. They sounded great. Wolf, of course, played bass in Van Halen, but can really shred on guitar. Like he was ripping it. Everybody in the band sounded really good. They put on a great performance. It's in the daytime. Like, first band, whatever. They only got 30 minutes. They sounded great. I just don't necessarily like their songs. I don't know if it's necessarily my style of music, but I thought they were great. And then after that, the second band on Friday night was the Pantera Legacy Act, um, which I was excited to see. I'm a big Charlie Benante fan, and who doesn't love Zach Wild? I did get to see Pantera back in the day, so it was really fun hearing these songs played again live. And they played for an hour. They came out swinging. Every song they're going to play, they played. and, and it was great. You could really tell that the crowd was really into them. It wasn't quite full for them yet. There was probably like a good 40 or 50,000 people actually in the seats and watching them. As people, traffic and all these things Friday night after work. I'm sure it was just a complete shit show on the outside. Um, but yeah, Pantera were great. I thought that they had a lot of really good emotional moments paying tribute to Vinny and Dimebag. And yeah, Phil sounded great. Rex looked great. Charlie nailed the drum parts. And Zach, I feel like he learned the songs well enough to play them and also add his own little things here and there that I appreciated. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, yeah, so Pantera, they were great. And I was really happy that I got to see that. And then that leads us up into the big event of the night, which is Metallica. Um, Circular stage. Inside the stage, it was the snake pit. They did not open up the contest for Seattle for the snake pit. So I was kind of banking on that, hoping to get in there, but it did not happen. So yeah, walked our way up to the seats. And yeah, they opened with Creeping Death. And that went into Harvester of Sorrow. And that went into Leper Messiah. And at that point, I went, kind of really doesn't matter what else they do the rest of the night. That's a great opening, just 1, 2, 3 punch. And then they came in with King Nothing, I think was the first like hit or whatever that they played. And it's not my favorite song by them, but it sounded great. They played it really well. And it was kind of fun to hear that song again. That's not one they play too often over the last 20 years or whatever. And yeah, night one, I think, I mean, we'll get into which one was my favorite, but night one, there was no Enter Sandman. There was no one. What did they end up closing with? They did do Orion the first night. That was awesome.
The
They did
Unforgiven.
do they did the Unforgiven the second night, I think it was. Yeah, the Unforgiven was the second night. Yeah, because we'll get into the second night. But yeah, really the only like hits or whatever they played night one would have been um, King Nothing and Nothing Else Matters. And I got a little bit of video footage of Nothing Else Matters. The lights, the everybody in the crowd with their phones. It was just really cool. And so like I'll take it. And then they closed with Master of Puppets, which oh yeah. It was actually pretty funny. I was there with my bass player from my band, and the next to last song was Seek and Destroy. And he just kind of looked at me and went, well, how do they top that? And then they launched into Master of Puppets, and he went, oh. It was pretty funny. And yeah, and the place went nuts. Friday night was just so full of energy and just a lot of old school ripping songs. And then, of course, they played 3 new songs from the new album, 3 each night. Night one was the title track, If Darkness Had a Sun, and Shadows Follow. And I thought all 3 of those sounded really good live. I was like, I like those songs even more now, having heard them live. And so, yeah, night one was just amazing. And then, much like the band, I kind of took Saturday off too. We had plans to try to hit up the pop up store. There was also like a film festival, a couple tribute bands playing. Um, James's kid, James's son's band, and Robert's son's band are doing a tour like around this tour. So they had like a special Metallica event where you can go see their kids play. And there was a blackened whiskey and cigar tasting event. It was all kinds of crazy stuff going on Saturday. But I was a little sore and kind of like, I got to do that again. I might just take it easy today. And I think that was the better choice.
It's hell getting old.
Um, Yeah, it happens. You know, screaming from those seats so that they can hear you, takes a lot out of you. And so yeah, then Sunday was day two, round two. Here we go. The poster was a little harder to get Sunday. We actually had to go to three different merch tables to get it, and actually watched them sell out at the first two. We were like, no. But we made it our mission to get both posters, and and then, yeah, eventually just made our way back up to the seat. We are having fun. We knew the lay of the land. And we did want to see the opening acts for night two. Although I would definitely give the edge to night one. Mammoth and Pantera were much better than Ice Nine Kills, who opened the show. Musically, I thought they sounded very modern metal, almost like an Avenged Sevenfold or something. Um, but then they also had like this weird horror movie gimmick where there were people running around the stage as zombies and with chainsaws. And at one point, the singer actually pulled out like the Necronomicon. Yeah, it was kind of silly,
That's
but
kind of interesting.
it's
Yeah.
kind of interesting. I don't know. I might check out more of them, but
Might be a good one
the
to do
show,
next Halloween.
yeah, that might be a good one. But of course, being the first band, they only played 30 minutes. But I did see a lot of people that were there for them. So that might be something to check out. And then they were followed in the second slot, who got to play for an hour. They go by many names, but for the purposes of this video, we'll call them Five Finger Death Punch. And yeah, again, also not really my type of music that I like. They're a little more radio friendly rock. Um, it was It was okay. I thought they put on a good show. I could tell the crowd was into it. They had a lot of energy. But again, the songs don't do it for me. At one point, they even did like a cover of the House of the Rising Sun that just did not work because they were just trying to add crunch to it all over the place, and it just didn't work. Um, excuse me. But yeah, they were entertaining. It was all right. I wasn't quite sure which part I was supposed to join the military, but I know it happened at one point in there. Um, and then yeah, lights go down and Metallica's next for round two. And kind of the same setup style wise for the set lists. Night two, what did we open up with? We opened with Whiplash, and that went into For Whom the Bell Tolls. And that went into the title track for Ride the Lightning, which was a personal highlight for me. I've been wanting to hear that song live every time I see him. So I finally got it. I was really happy. It sounded awesome. Yeah, one, two, three punch just came right out. And then we get to the load section of the thing where they went with The Memory Remains here, another, hit. And yeah, when the crowd sings along at the end, it's always a fun part. They sounded pretty good. Um, and then after that, we got to the new songs part. No, I think there were a couple other songs in there too, like old school ones. Like they did do The Unforgiven at one point. The new songs from the 72 seasons, they did Lux Eterna, Screaming, Unlivened. What are we supposed to say? Unalive.
Unalived.
Yeah, Screaming Unalived, and Inamorata. We got Inamorata, which was an interesting choice. Because it's the longest song in their entire catalog at almost 20 minutes, and it's kind of a slow burn. So live, it did kind of feel like a momentum shifter a little bit. I thought it sounded good, and I'm excited that I got to see it because I'll say it right now, I don't think they'll ever play it live again. Um, on future tours or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, like those three just didn't sit as well with me as the other three from the first night. Where like Screaming Unalived, It did sound pretty good, actually. That one worked. The Lux Eterna, like the chorus, didn't work live as well as I thought it would.
That's weird. I actually like that song. Like that was one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
me too, you know, and I thought that that chorus would sound great live. So maybe I had too much expectation, but it felt a little flat for me. And then yeah, the instrumental, we got the Call of Cthulhu Night 2, which was exciting to hear. Rob Trujillo kind of stole the show during that one. Just ripped just this amazing bass solo through the whole thing. Sounded great. Just real crazy stuff too. Like if you can find the Call of Cthulhu from this tour, check out what Rob's doing on that bass. It's crazy. Um, and yeah, this one kind of closed out where they did the Unforgiven. They did Wherever I May Roam, which was cool to hear. And then they did Moth into Flame from Hardwired. And that segued into the closing 1-2 punch of One and Enter Sandman. So, yeah, I could see where that one's a better like closing 1-2 punch than Seek and Destroy and Master of Puppets, which is clearly designed for the old school fans, where One and Enter Sandman is designed for the radio fans. So I kind of get why they have to do it. But you did see some people starting to leave as soon as one started, like, oh, okay, we know this is it, and we've seen these songs to death. So in one regard, I do like that they saved those two for last. You know, like they made
Yeah.
people sit through. We got Welcome Home Sanitarium. Oh, night one was one of my highlights. We got a ripping version of Blackened. Blackened sounded amazing live. Um, what else did they play? They played The Day That Never Comes from Death Magnetic.
Whiskey in the
And
Jar.
no covers. There were zero covers except for one. So, at one point during the set, Rob and Kirk kind of take over the stage and doodle and just kind of jam. They do like a city specific thing or whatever they're working on at the moment. Usually it's written, day of at the hotel. And night one, we got a pretty cool Seattle themed song called Orca Attack, which was fun. And I've definitely seen that's made it onto YouTube. Um, and then night two, they started with a cover of the Sonics with Witch, and that turned into a cover of Mudhoney's Touch Me, I'm Sick. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Touch me, I'm sick.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. Wasn't expecting that. That was cool. But otherwise, no like covers, and nothing from Saint Anger. But everything else was representative at least once.
No trash can drums, huh?
No. Lars had 4 drum kits scattered throughout the stage, and they'd pop in and out of the stage. So there was only ever one at any given time, but it would move. So that, different people would get different angles of the drums and stuff. I thought that was cool. And yeah, night one was definitely my favorite. Night two, I did like between Inamorata and then following that up with The Unforgiven. It was just like, oh,
Night two is
energy
for the.
gone.
I mean, that's like Saturday night, right?
That was Sunday night.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Well, they do Fridays and Sundays so that they could have a day off in between. They didn't want to do 2 shows back to back.
Yeah, I mean the second night that's for the the mainstream.
That's kind of how it went. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that they have to do that, and I appreciate that they gave us like a ripping old school set list for night one.
Yeah, most bands just they gotta play the hits and that's it.
That you got to play the hits. I get
Play the
it,
hits
and
and
they've
roll
got
on.
enough that you got to play them.
Yeah, especially them long-term bands like Metallica,
Yeah.
Green
Yeah,
Day
like
does
night
it.
one got Sad But True and Fuel. Those were like, and yeah, what, King Nothing? Those are the hits that they're choosing. It's like, okay, cool. and Master of Puppets. I guess that is technically a hit now, huh?
Yeah, Stranger Things.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
It was an awesome time.
I'm glad you enjoyed your time instead of being with us recording Paramore.
Well, I'm sure I
Oh,
would have had almost as much fun doing that.
trust me, I think we enjoyed our time as well.
Oh,
I think
thanks, Bill.
I think because I don't know for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, we don't remember all of it, but it's coming soon.
Well, it was $17 beer night at the old Metallica shows, so I remember quite a bit.
Yeah.
How much were the mixers though?
They were only 18, so we learned our lesson for night two.
Work smarter, not harder.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Well, sometimes you got to work a little dumb to figure out that you're not working smart.
Yeah, this is just a new little side series. Let us know if you guys like this stuff. We talk about music all the fucking time, and we go see music that we like. So go check out our Green
All the
Day,
time.
Bill's Green Day review. We might have a Menzingers one coming up soon. So give us a like, give us a subscribe. Go watch the Chili Peppers. That should be airing right now. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Even if you don't like
And
the
yeah,
band.
watch the Metallica shows on YouTube. They were great.
Yeah, go watch whoever posted that too.
Exactly.
Bootleg cell phone. Here we go.
That's right. No,
There's some
nowadays
professional stuff out there too.
Oh,
nowadays you can watch anything.
And I'd imagine in the next couple weeks or so, Metallica will start posting official videos from it. The stuff from Edmonton, which was the show before Seattle, has started popping up in the last couple days. So
Yeah.
it takes them a minute to edit it, but they come out.
All right. I think I said all my piece. Links down below. Discord, Facebook. Like, subscribe, be safe, make good decisions.
Metal up your ass.